Thank you, community friends. I'm here today to share with you an overview of the most transformational opportunity we have in Okaloosa County that we have ever had. And that is the county referendum coming up on November 6th, commonly known as the half-penny surtax. Not one day has passed for the last 10 years where someone has not asked me, how can I help solve the traffic problem, or how can I help solve the flooding issue in my community? And I sadly have to say to them, I'm sorry, unless you're an elected official with lots of money, there's absolutely nothing we could do. Until now. I'm very pleased to say that the Board of County Commissioners have established for the first time in over 30 years the opportunity for every single registered voter in Okaloosa County to help transform Okaloosa County, and they have installed what is called the vote for a local optional sales tax on the November 6th ballot. A local optional sales tax is where residents like us decide that we want to begin to establish a surtax that we can use to reinvest in Okaloosa County for capital projects. It's exciting to note that there are only 3 counties in Okaloosa, 3 counties in the state of Florida that do not have a local optional sales tax. Only 3. I want to share that Escambia County's sales tax is 7.5%. Santa Rosa's sales tax is 7.5%. Okaloosa is 6, the state minimum. Walton County is 7, and Bay County is 7. And if you've driven through any of those cities lately, or any of those counties, you have noticed that they are reinvesting funds into their community, which is a wonderful thing, and that's what a surtax is for, is to reinvest in the infrastructure of a community. I'm very pleased to say that every single municipality in Okaloosa County has voted in favor of this 10-year half-penny surtax. It's exciting, isn't it? So let me tell you now where the money can be spent. Oh, let me share one thing before that. I want to share this as I've researched the various counties. A county can select to have a surtax for 2 categories: county funds or school funds. In this case, the school board has not elected to do a surtax this year. They may do it in a couple years to help the aging school buildings, etc. So we're doing it simply for county projects. So you're sitting there thinking, well, what are the county projects that we would reinvest this in? And that is infrastructure. Infrastructure, folks, is things like roads, bridges, bike paths, stormwater management, water quality, flooding, public safety, things such as ambulances, hazmat, things along those lines. That's infrastructure in a county which we in Okaloosa County have not reinvested in the last 50 years. We have never, ever had a local optional sales tax to cover all of the infrastructure of our community. It is daunting and amazing that that is the case. This money would not be spent on things such as salaries and admin. It is 100% of it is spent for capital goods, capital projects that will transform our community. Currently now, you're asking, well, how does a county currently get extra money to spend? The only way they can do that is on property taxes, or known locally as ad valorem taxes. To do such, you'd have to increase the ad valorem taxes. A local optional sales tax is a consumption tax. Just like that young woman right there is consuming that banana. A local optional sales tax is for people who buy things in Okaloosa County. 56% of the sales tax generated in Okaloosa County is collected during the tourist season. 56%, which means anybody who spends money in Okaloosa County would be contributing to our repairs. 56% during the tourist season. Which would you rather choose? To tax everybody who buys something, or to penalize our property owners with additional ad valorem taxes? Folks, to make the same amount of money that the surtax, the half-penny surtax would generate, we would have to increase our property taxes 25 to 30%. You can see right there where you might want to choose which way to go on such a way. So half of the infrastructure, half of our repairs would be generated by our visitors who are using our services. So you're asking yourself, well, how much money is generated? It's $18 million, of which is divided amongst the county and the cities. And it's interesting to note that each of those categories are selecting projects. So the county is creating projects that will benefit where you live and work, and your city is creating projects, etc. And you'll have a chance to go to the website called itjustmakesense.org. You'll see a list of those projects, and you'll be able to see what this money will be what it will be reinvested in. which is really something. You know, what's interesting, I've learned in this process a thing called leveraging funds. And I want to share an example of the biggest project that's being worked on in Okaloosa County right now, and that's P.J. Adams up in Crestview, where this gentleman is from. P.J. Adams is a road that needs to be repaired. It's used not only for folks coming down here, it's folks from Crestview, but it's also used as an evacuation route for those of us who need to leave the south part of the county and the north part of the county. P.J. Adams, here's how it works, folks. $200 million will be used to repair P.J. Adams, $200 million. $100 million would be contributed by FDOT. $50 million would be contributed by Triumph, which means the county would only have to donate or contribute, in this case, $5 million a year for 6 years, or $30 million. The way you have to do that is $100 million from FDOT, $50 million from Triumph, if the county contributes matching funds, or skin in the game, as it's called. The skin in the game is the half-penny surtax. If we do not pass the half-penny surtax, the P.J. Adams project does not happen. That's called skin in the game. So it's two sides of that. The accounting people like Nancy over here thinking about that. What called leveraging is this. Not only do you have the skin in the game, but you have this. You have a $200 million road project that the county would only have to pay $30 million to get repaired. That's called leveraging. And there's also a thing called bonding, where each of these cities gets money. For example, Fort Walton Beach will get about $1 million a year. About $1 million a year times 10 years makes it $10 million. They can bond money using that money as collateral and turn that $10 million perhaps into $50 or $60 million worth of projects in just the city, as well as every other city. That gives you an idea as to how that money is used, which is absolutely fantastic. So the other thing about P.J. Adams, which is so interesting, is this. When this surtax passes, they'll get that project done in 5 years, Crestview resident. 5 years. Actually, we have 2 Crestview residents here today. 5 years that project will be done. And we have more. We have more. We have 3 Crestview. 5 years that project will be completed when the half cent passes. If it does not pass, 25 years. It'll take 25 years for the county to save the money to be able to consider that project. 5 years. Which means in the next 10 years, folks, transformational projects would occur. The half-penny surtax passes. We have over $500 million, $500 million of new-found money in Okaloosa County to repair our roads, our traffic, our stormwater, our water quality, etc. It's actually daunting. Now, if you're looking around the room thinking to yourself, hey, I don't trust the government. I do. The Board of Chamber of Commerce unanimously voted in favor of the half-penny surtax before we even saw the list of projects. We have trust in our Board of County Commissioners, but if you do not, they have established an advisory committee made up of citizens. Each one of the Board of County Commissioners has selected one representative for each. That means there'll be 5 people from the various districts of the community who will be overseeing where the money is spent. So they've done everything they can to make this a very accessible item. I will share this, folks. It's been over 30 years since Okaloosa County has instituted any form of local optional sales tax. They did one in 1989 for 2 years, and they used the money to repair the jail. 2 years, that was it. We have never, ever, in the existence of Okaloosa County, created a local optional sales tax to reinvest in our county, in our infrastructure, in our roads. And there's those that would say, Okaloosa County has the lowest tax base in the state of Florida, period. And then there's others that say, Okaloosa County has the lowest tax base in the state of Florida, comma, and it shows. And I think all of us, whenever you see that flooding, whenever you get stuck in traffic, whenever you see issues that are not been repaired, you understand what that means. I've lived here since 1990. It's been an absolutely magical place to raise my family and my kids. I absolutely love it. I can only imagine what will happen in the next 10 years when this passes and we reinvest these funds and change Okaloosa County to even more of a magical county than it is right now. So I can't emphasize enough, folks, help us transform Okaloosa County and vote yes on the local optional sales tax on November 6th.